Kung kay Mrs. Corazon Aquino ay pagpatuloy ang Bataan nuclear plant kung maaari. Sapagkat I told her this is the solutions in meeting a country's energy demands and decreasing dependence on imported oil. Ngunit ayaw niyang tanggapin ang aking mungkahi. At maalala daw ng taong bayan si Marcos habang nandiyan ng Bataan Nuclear Plant. Anong klaseng pag-iisip yan? Ayan ay paghihiganti. Huwag natin idamay sambay ng Pilipino. Kanya balang araw makikita ninyo 20 years from now, baksak na ang Pilipinas.
Terms of Marcos were more faithful to the goals of our Constitution.
Napakatahimik, napakalinis ng kalye. Everyone was behaved.
Nung sinabi ni Marcos, sa ikaulan ng bayang disiplina ang kailangan, pinagtatawanan ko yan ng Marcel. Pero ngayon sinasabi ko, tama nga.
1969 dahil ang hangarin ng ating gobyerno ay magkaroon ng 100% electrification sa buong Pilipinas. At para dyan ay nagtayo ng malalaking power plant, naglagay tayo ng mga dam para magkaroon tayo hindi lamang pang irrigation kundi para sa hydroelectric power din. At naglagay tayo ng tinatawag na submarine cable. Ang mahirap kasi sa transmission, ang Pilipinas 7,107 islands, kailangan paabutin mo yung kuryente kahit sa malalayo. Umabot din tayo sa 100% barangay-based figure. Ibig sabihin, sa 100% ng mga barangay natin, inabot natin na lahat sila ay may electrification. Kahit na hindi lahat ng bahay, lahat ng barangay natin ay nagkaroon ng kuryente noong mid-80s. Pero hindi na natuloy itong programang ito, kaya iwanan na tayo ng ating mga karatig bansa. Yung Thailand, nasa 100% na. Ang Indonesia, 98 to 99%. Malaysia, 100%. Vietnam, 100%. Ang Philippines, ang 83%. Napakasayang dahil tayo naman nagsimula. Tayo nauna dyan sa rural electrification. Nauna tayo sa lahat ng mga ASEAN. Pero ngayon ay naiwanan na naman tayo at hindi natuloy ang mga programa. Isa sa pinakamalaking programa na nawala ay yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Dahil ginawang political football, sayang yun dahil hanggang ngayon binabayaran natin at pwede naman paandarin yun at 650 megawatts sana yun.
Terms of Marcos were more faithful to the goals of our Constitution.
Napakatahimik, napakalinis ng kalye. Everyone was behaved.
Nung sinabi ni Marcos, sa ikaulan ng bayang disiplina ang kailangan, pinagtatawanan ko yan ng Marcel. Pero ngayon sinasabi ko, tama nga.
Mag-unite sa Kongreso, makikipagsundo doon sa Kongreso, sa Senado, so they can work together for a better Philippines. Exactly na sinabi ni Bongbong Marcos na gusto niya magkaroon ng better Philippines. Bilang isang leader, dapat binibigyan din, mayroon din kakayahan, okay, ang isang leader na magkaroon siya ng pagpapahalaga sa history ng ating buhay, sa history ng ating pagiging Pilipino. Kasi part ng buhay natin lahat, whether you're Filipino or not, buong mundo ay yung history perspective natin. Kung ano tayo. Which is, yan ang pinaglalaban ni Bongbong Marcos sa kabila ng pagbabatikos sa kanila, pagbibintang na sila ay magnanakaw ng ganito, ng ganyan.
Ronaldo was the grandfather of Prime Minister Cesar Virata, who is here. My grandfather only commanded the revolutionary forces. We have changed places since then. Incidentally, that statement allegedly made by Cardinal Sin has been denied by Cardinal Sin. I was surprised that you haven't heard about it. This just goes to prove that there is some time lag when you move towards the West. They tried to kidnap our foreign minister, Romulo, whom you just saw today. And I told him, you better disappear because I will not ransom you.
After the attack on Pearl Harbor, U.S. bases in the Philippines could not be defended. Why should we expect that in another war these bases would be more reliable?
That's one of the questions that I wanted to find out. If you are going to run out on us anyway, you better let us know now.
There is widespread malnutrition in the Philippines, and only 1/3 of your labor force has regular employment. Given this, how do you justify the prosperity in which you, your family, and friends live?
You must like us, the way you ask those questions. Anyway, I don't know where you get your figures, but the unemployment figure in the Philippines is 4%. I don't know what's yours. I do know what's yours, but
What do you say to critics who say your health is poor and you won't be around very long, but your wife may be?
anybody want to try me in the ring?
Is it really true, as your biography states, that you were born in a thunderstorm?
How should I know? But my mother says so, yes. My mother says so, and I guess if you can't believe your mother, whom will you believe, huh?
Thank you very much.
Let's give people the opportunity to make it better. How do we do that? At the very beginning of that entire process, improve our educational system. With a well-trained, well-experienced workforce, you can do anything. And that will provide opportunities for people. That, again, if there are more high school graduates, there are more college graduates, literacy rate is improved. And in this day and age, our command of the English language is important. Because for better or for worse, that is the language of the internet, that is the language of commerce. All of those things we must provide as a service of government. And I have always believed in the principle that education is the most important service that government provides its people. And that is just the beginning point. Now, then you must, again, have faith in your own economy and that you invest in it. You invest in your own economy. Because when you invest in roads, when you invest in transport systems, when you invest in power plants, you are not investing in an economy. You're investing in your people because you are making an investment to provide your people with an opportunity, with a framework in which they can flourish. Look at Filipinos abroad. When given the opportunity, they work, and knowing what the rules that are stable. You work hard, you do well, and with a bit of luck, you make it. And look at them, they make it. Filipinos make it. And we are not only successful, we are actually sought out because of the good work that we do. That all else being equal, they will choose a Filipino over another nationality. With such an asset, I cannot understand why we are in the doldrums when it comes to job creation, when it comes to the quality of life issues that we are facing. And can you imagine the 8 million Filipinos, all their skill and industry and resourcefulness that we are all famous for? Can you imagine bringing them all back to the Philippines? Can you imagine the contribution that they will make to nation building, to our progress? That is something that we really have to do, is to understand that government is here to provide a framework for the private sector to flourish. And there are many ways to do that, some simple, some more complicated, but nevertheless, that should be the job as we see it in terms of the partnership that we are asking the private sector to join in with government.
Masig ang administrasyon ni Cory sa pamamagitan ng PCGG at ang totoo kahit ang mga ancestral homes ng mga Marcos ay ipinagiba nila sa pag-aakalang mahahanap nila doon ang mga ginto ni Marcos.
Sino pumatas dito? Already already destroyed our homes in San Juan, my ancestral home in Leyte. They destroyed all our homes everywhere. Now, they're taking our children's food. Why?
Nabanggit natin kanina na ang mga ay walang tiwala dito at gusto niya itong buwagin.
Itong PCGG kasi is focused on the Marcos wealth. Gusto ko tanggalin, pero baka sabihin naman ng mga tao, on the verge of discovering something, ayan na nga, binuwag na tuloy yung PCGG.
Noong 1986 din mismo ay sinubukan ni Pangulong Marcos na ilipat ang mga ginto dahil alam niya na hahabulin ito ng mga oligarko. Ginawa niya ito para protektahan ang mga Pilipino at para maisalba ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas dahil iniisip ng Pangulong Marcos noon na maaari pa siyang makabalik sa Malacanang. Alam niya na kung hindi siya kikilos ay posibleng mapasa kamay ng mga buwaya ang mga ginto at kung ganun ang mangyayari, 100% na hindi makikinabang ang sambayanang Pilipino. Pinatunayan niyan mismo ni Pangulong Duterte.
Ay, nakatira sila sa bukid. Paano sila mabubuhay doon miski may bahay sila? Ang palengke nasa baba, nasa iba-ibang lugar. Kaya naisip ko, pagka meron akong Bliss Project, ng housing project, hindi lang housing, kung hindi lahat, kompleto. Meron doon palengke, simbahan, meron doon eskwela, meron doon factory, may pagkikitaan. Lahat ng pangangailangan nandiyan dyan na huwag nang papuntahin kung saan-saan. Si Presidente nga hindi lang ginawa human settlement na isang bureau, ginawa niyan isang department. Hindi lang kami gumagawa ng bahay lamang, kailangan human settlement, pang-tao talaga.
Among all the problems that confront us,
na 2 dekada na po ang dumaan, pinupondohan palagi, pero hindi kailanman natapos nang dahil sa problema ng right of way. So, ang pagkaiba natin po ngayon, under your leadership, malaki po naging improvement sa ating mga right of way strategies. So, we're able to solve through reforms. Hindi na po nakaasa sa regional office, sa central office para sa right of way. So na-delegate po, isa yan sa mga reforma. Ngayon po, bawat implementing office, meron ng legal division. Tinanggal na po natin yung outdated requirements for claimants. Naglabas po tayo ng bagong right of way manual at automated na po ngayon ang right of way application at monitoring. Nag-create din tayo ng 2,709 positions sa regional and district level. At pinabilis din po natin ang appraisal sa pamamagitan ng MOA sa Land Bank. So kung dati matagal ang appraisal time, dahil sa MOA po mabilis na, kaya nakukuha kaagad ang right of way. At nagkaroon din po tayo ng special expropriation courts. Malaking bagay din po yung special courts para makatutok.
Philippines make it. And we are not only successful, we are actually sought out because of the good work that we do. That all else being... often about the 7% growth rate, and yet we spend 65 billion on the CCTs. The poverty rate does not change, the unemployment rate does not change, the literacy rate does not change, the mortality rate in our hospitals does not change. So basically, the way we are doing it is not working. It is often cited, the examples of Brazil and India in the CCTs as a tool for the distribution of wealth. In Brazil...
A little background on yourself.
Yes. I'm a lawyer and an economist, and I worked in the legal department of the World Bank for 20 years. I did what a lawyer inside a bank is supposed to do, which is when the financial information was getting fiddled, I reported it up the corporate ladder. I went to the audit committee. When that didn't work, I went to the U.S. Treasury Department. When that didn't work, I went to the U.S. Congress. When that didn't work, I went to Ben Bernanke. When that didn't work, I went to the rest of the world.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, and when that didn't work, I went to the rest of the world. And that's where we are now. We're with the rest of the world.
That there is a special trust that contains just about all of the world's gold.
It was established by Ferdinand Marcos. This gold, people want to know what the gold is. It's
You're referring to the president of the Philippines, of the former president of the Philippines who died in '89, correct?
That's correct. That's who, except, it's not clear about the exact date of his death because he had a cousin who, he was removed. He was removed by the CIA. It was not by a popular uprising. You know how the CIA stages these things. And he was sent off to Hawaii. But he had expected that this was going to happen, and he had gotten his cousin to stand in for him. So it was his cousin that was in Hawaii, captive. But anyway, what Ferdinand Marcos did was he took the world's gold. I was explaining what is the world's gold. It's gold from King Solomon. It's gold that the conquistadors in Spain gathered up from the Aztec and Inca civilizations. It is gold that was gathered by General Yamashita between World War I and World War II. And what the banks did when they gathered up the gold, they issued certificates to the wealthy people who had the gold. And those certificates had interest that was payable in gold. And the interest has been compounding. What Ferdinand Marcos did was he put the gold in a trust for benefit of humanity. And he said that the trust would be for 50 years. The reason he did this, he was a lawyer, and he knew that if somebody claims that they own something and they are not able to prove their claim for 50 years, that claim is extinguished. That's a legal concept called statute of limitations.